All right, so this is video number two to the response training. So in here, I want to go through the second part of our responses. So here's our basic responses that are mostly people that need to know who I am, or they don't have anything, save me in your phone, that sort of stuff. But eventually, some of these will work into, after we communicate these messages to them, we'll start to turn into semi, I call them like, you know, almost leads, right? So they say they have something, they have some property. When they say they have something, then we move into this phase here. So this is number five. So we're going through the remaining text, and if they say they have some kind of property, some kind of off-market property that we want to pursue, here's the steps. So the first thing we do, if they say yes, I have a property, the first thing we do, we copy and paste this, and we say, great. What is the price you're looking for the property? We always ask that first before we ask for the address. I used to do it the other way around, and what that turned into was we would get the address, but then they wouldn't want to give us the price that they were thinking about for the property because they wanted to see what we would come up with. And that's not what we want. We want to know what they want for the property first. Then we want to know the property address, and then we can take a look at it. And if our offer price is close to or quite a bit higher than what they are asking, then we got a deal, right? So that's why we do it in this order. I found when you ask for price first, they most likely will give you the price first, and then we ask for the address, and then they'll give us the address, and then we can start to do our analysis. So let's just go through this a little bit. So this is one this Amanda, she texted back several times. So I do have something to sell in Thornton. Thornton would be as is, does need some work. Perfect. So I'm going to send her that, right? I'm going to this is kind of a lead. So I'm going to go ahead and assign that to myself or Bassett. Probably just assign it to me for now. Um, and I can go ahead and clear that because it's assigned to me. It'll drop into my tasks bar over here so I can start to follow up with that. If she gets back to me, it'll pop back up in here, okay? So let me go ahead and see what else we got going on here and see if we can work through some other leads. All right, so this one says, I do have, so we've been talking back and forth, she wanted to know who I am. And she says, I do, but I'm waiting for the seller to negotiate. I should have that in a day or two. Perfect, let me know. So this is a lead. She does have an off-market property or has something coming up. So in this situation, I would just go ahead and assign it, and then go in here and then just change the task. It takes a second for the task to pop up, but set that task to follow up with her in a couple days, and then clear it. That's what I would do with that. So let's see if that task has popped up. Not quite yet. I'm going to pause this for a second and I'll be back. All right, so here's another one that looks like they have one that are going to be putting on the market in 2 weeks. They sign a listing agreement. It's on First and Zenobia. So I'm not asking for the address yet. I'm asking what is the price, and then we'll see what they come back with. So this one would be also one that sounds like it's somewhat of a lead, right? Something that we should be paying attention to. So I'm going to assign this over to myself or to Bassett or whoever, and we can go ahead and clear that because we've already dealt with it and it's in our task to deal with later, um, and so on. So, all right, so I shot over what they're asking for in price. They came back at 460. So now we're asking for the address. So you can kind of see how this flow is working quite well. If they get us over the address, we can take a quick look and see if it's something that would work for us. Coming back to this lead that I haven't cleared out yet, they said that they'll have something in a couple days for us. So I went in and signed it to myself, and then I want to follow up with her in a couple days. So, 16th today, so maybe like Saturday. Saturday I'll follow up with her. So yeah, and then don't forget to clear that out um, when you're done with it. So it looks like this guy sent over a property that he has under contract. So this is like another wholesaler that would try to wholesale to us. If he is correct in his numbers, I don't know if he is, but if he is, I think it looks fairly decent, but let me take a quick look at it. So this one, his ARV is a little high. He's probably closer to 495. But so it's not a terrible deal. But it's already on market. He's got it under contract. So he's re-wholesaling it, and so that's not really something that we would chase necessarily because he's already wholesaling it. He's going to want hard earnest money, all that kind of stuff. And you can tell that it's already on market by just pulling up in the MLS. So the way I'd go about this is just submit a new an offer if we haven't already to the listing agent based on what we would buy it for in case it falls apart, and then just move on. So that's what I would do there. All right. So sometimes you'll get these agents that get a string of questions before giving us an address. Usually my rule is if I've responded to them twice and asking them if they have an off-market deal and they still continue with other questions and not giving me an address, I just kind of cut them loose. So that's just a good rule of thumb. I mean, maybe you can go up to three responses asking for, because right here I'm asking again, do you have a property in mind? He's asking me all these questions. If he doesn't have if he does have a property, he would probably say yes, I do. If he doesn't, he's just wanting to ask a bunch of questions, then I don't want to continue wasting my time with him. So it's just good to know that it's okay to cut these guys loose when they're not helping you out. All right, so as you can see, I got this list whittled down. Most of those I was just responding to these right here. I was asking for price, asking for address, and then I was just determining ARV and seeing if it's lead. If it's lead, I was assigning it to myself or to Bassett, however it made sense. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up, and we'll shoot some more videos down the road as needed.